Don't miss this. Who still wears clothes from 10 years ago? The answer may surprise you, asterisk asterisk. What type of person continues to wear the same clothes they owned a decade ago? The answer may surprise you. Imagine there's a simple practice you can carry with you for the next 15 years. One that brings peace and happiness unlike anything else. It's not something you need to purchase or learn in school. It's something you can carry with you wherever you go. Today, we're diving into a powerful Buddhist philosophy that can reshape how you view life, especially as you grow older. Stay with me, because you'll thank yourself for this wisdom in years to come. Welcome to Buddhism in English. Take a moment to look around you. You'll notice that while some people are constantly shopping for new clothes, others continue to wear items they purchased 10 or even 20 years ago. Unlike those who always update their wardrobes, people who stick to their older clothes tend to have more stable personalities. What sets these individuals apart? Why do they hold on to these old garments? For some, keeping their physique allows them to wear clothes that still fit perfectly. The meaning of clothing as we age. As we grow older, our minds and bodies go through significant transformations. Decisions as simple as what we wear each day become more meaningful, especially for men between the ages of 55 and 75. While some men may continue following the latest fashion trends, many choose to hold on to outfits they've owned for decades. This choice reflects more than just personal habits. It reveals deeper psychological and emotional aspects. For many older men, an old shirt, a worn-out pair of shoes, or a weathered hat are not just articles of clothing. They're tangible links to the past, holding memories, comfort, and loyalty to who they once were. These familiar items may remind them of hard work, family moments, or life-changing experiences. Like a bridge to the past, they provide comfort in an ever-changing world. As the Buddhist philosopher Taitan said, "When you touch a leaf, you touch the whole tree." We never really leave the past behind. We carry it with us in ways we often don't recognize. Take, for instance, a man who has worn the same leather jacket for 30 years. To an outsider, it may just seem outdated. But to him, it's a symbol of his early struggles, perhaps the first thing he bought with his own money. That jacket has become part of his identity, like an old friend that has been by his side through it all. Keeping and wearing clothes from 10 or 20 years ago can hold deep emotional meaning. However, it's also worth considering from another perspective. Clothes are not only memory keepers but also reflections of how we adapt to changes in society and ourselves. An elderly person wearing old clothes may not be sentimental, but could lack self-care or awareness of the benefits of refreshing their wardrobe. Updating one's appearance through clothing is another form of self-care. Over time, the fabric fades, and just like clothes, our faces show wear. Old garments, while meaningful, may no longer be suitable for current weather, health, or lifestyle needs. Wearing outdated clothes can sometimes make older individuals feel out of place in an increasingly modern and youthful society. But, for many seniors, their clothing symbolizes not just memories, but a sense of stability and attachment to lasting values. These items bring a sense of security and familiarity, and can help maintain confidence during later stages of life. Choosing to wear older clothes instead of keeping up with trends doesn't always mean feeling out of touch. It can be a sign of maturity, reflecting a person's ability to maintain their style instead of succumbing to society's superficial changes. Changing clothes doesn't mean losing memories or betraying your identity. It's about finding balance, cherishing the past while embracing the future. Holding on to too many old things can sometimes prevent us from moving forward and discovering new experiences in life. What do you think? Is holding on to old clothes always a good thing, or can it sometimes be a way of reinventing ourselves? Share your thoughts. How do we respect this choice in a world that often values novelty over what is timeless? In the past, embracing old clothing didn't signify a refusal to change or living in sad nostalgia. It was a reminder of eternal values, those that time cannot replace. In today's fast-paced world, holding on to a piece of our past can help us maintain balance. For those of you, especially men in your 50s or beyond, remember this: You don't have to change just because society says so. Instead, ask yourself, do my clothes reflect who I truly am? How do I feel wearing these clothes? These questions help you choose clothes and better understand yourself within the bigger picture of your life. Paul, a retired teacher in his late 60s, lives in a quiet suburban neighborhood. Every morning, he walks to the park wearing an old red cardigan draped over his shoulders. To others, it's just an old sweater, but to Paul, it represents resilience. The cardigan was a gift from his late wife, Mary, on their 30th wedding anniversary. Over the years, it's been with him through life's highs and lows, raising children, celebrating milestones, even during Mary's illness. One day, Paul overheard some young joggers in the park whisper, "Why doesn't he just get a new sweater?" Their laughter stung, but Paul simply smiled and kept walking. Later at a community event, a young man approached him and said, "Sir, that red cardigan reminds me of one my grandfather used to wear. I miss him. May I sit with you?" Paul welcomed him, and they shared stories about Mary, the family, and the significance of the cardigan. The young man left with a newfound appreciation for the value behind simple possessions. For Paul, clothes are not about fashion. They're about comfort, memories, and identity. As we age, our clothes often reflect not only who we are but what we hold dear. Fashion isn't the end goal. It's a reflection of your soul and values. It's not the clothes that make the person, but the person who brings life to the clothes. In quiet moments of reflection, as health begins to decline and movement slows, when the body no longer feels as strong as it once did, familiar items can bring immense comfort. That old sweater, once worn on chilly mornings while taking the kids to school, or those well-worn jeans that have accompanied you on countless outings, are symbols of resilience and strength. These qualities are part of you, even as you grow older. These clothes, in their simple existence, remind us of who we are. They serve as tangible evidence of our perseverance, of how far we've come, and of the values that have anchored us throughout our lives. Wearing them is not about clinging to the past. It's about finding peace in the present, drawing strength from the memories they hold. As Buddha wisely said, the past is a shadow, but it can teach us how to walk in the present. Our clothes aren't chains binding us to what once was, but rather, lights guiding us through the present, helping us find meaning amid the chaos of the world. In a society that often measures success by what's new, by the latest fashion trends and fleeting ideas of what's in, continuing to wear old clothes is an act of defiance against the pressure to constantly consume. It declares that true worth isn't found in the new, the latest style, or the temporary pleasure of acquiring more. Instead, it lies in the enduring quality of what we already possess. These old clothes speak a language of simplicity, reminding us that the most meaningful things in life are often those that can't be bought or replaced. Holding on to these garments also sends a message to future generations. In a world constantly changing, where the speed of consumption often surpasses reflection, cherishing what we already own serves as a reminder of the value of sustainability. By wearing what we have, we contribute to a culture of mindfulness, one that prioritizes quality over quantity and responsibility over waste. This small yet powerful act says much about the kind of world we want to create. A world where the value of things is measured not by their novelty but by the depth of their meaning. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "The world has enough for man's needs, but not his greed." His words resonate deeply in today's society, where consumerism often overshadows the true essence of life. When we hold on to our old clothes, we quietly rebel against a world that values the transient over the eternal. We embrace simplicity, sustainability, and the understanding that what we already have is enough. So, what clothes have accompanied you on your life's journey? Which pieces of fabric hold the story of who you are, who you've been, and who you hope to become? Perhaps it's a shirt from your youth, a jacket passed down from a loved one, or a pair of shoes that have walked with you through every stage of life. I encourage you to share your story. Your memories may resonate with someone else, and your reflections might help others find meaning in the things they hold dear. In a world constantly racing forward with ever-changing trends and fleeting moments, let's remember that true value lies not in what is new, but in how we appreciate what we already have. By honoring our past through the clothes we wear, we find strength and purpose in the present. In doing so, we leave behind a legacy of resilience, authenticity, and respect for the things that truly matter. Practical reasons for keeping old clothes. In today's fast-paced world, where fashion trends are constantly changing and being dynamic is seen as a symbol of success, there is a unique group of people who continue to wear clothes they bought a decade ago. Behind this decision lies more than just habit. There are deep values tied to life, soul, and practicality. As Buddha once said, people are not defined by what they own, but by how they use what they have. For older individuals, especially those who are retired, keeping old clothes is not only about comfort and durability, but also about embracing a mindset that transcends material distractions. These clothes have witnessed a lifetime of memories, from the joy of holidays to the simple moments of everyday life. Additionally, in post-retirement life, when financial pressures ease, many choose to live more frugally, finding solace in the familiar rather than in new purchases. They focus on what truly matters: health, family, and peace of mind. They understand, as the saying goes, that true wealth is not measured by how much we have, but by how little we need. Though they may have the means to buy new clothes, they often prefer a simple and practical lifestyle, valuing comfort and memories over material excess. For them, simplicity doesn't mean sacrificing comfort, but is instead a form of wisdom and a reflection of life's true value. By carefully managing their expenses, they ensure long-term stability and security. A modest lifestyle allows them to be rich in spirit, even if they are modest in material possessions. Those who know how to make the most of what they have find beauty in everyday life. They have the ability to turn old clothes into something meaningful, giving them new purpose and renewing their value. In today's society, which increasingly values sustainability, the long-term use of items carries profound significance. It shows respect for resources and helps reduce environmental impact. A decade ago, this wasn't just about frugality or holding on to memory, it was about something far more meaningful, something often overlooked. It's an acceptance of oneself, a quiet pride in one's journey, and a deep understanding of what truly matters. These individuals aren't chasing after the latest trends. They've long since realized that life isn't about what's momentarily fashionable. It's about valuing the authenticity of their choices and feeling at home in their own skin. For those who wear the same clothes year after year, it's not just about the physical garments. Those clothes carry years of stories, struggles, and victories woven into every thread. That old sweater, those faded jeans, the worn-out shoes, they each serve as reminders of resilience. When we see someone dressed in such attire, we may not immediately realize that these clothes hold the essence of their life, the memories of the experiences they've had, the people they've loved, and the lessons they've learned. These clothes are far more than fabric. They are the real treasures they carry. So when you pass someone wearing vintage or well-worn clothing, pause for a moment. It's not just a casual outfit. It's a statement. It's a quiet declaration that they have lived, endured, and learned to embrace life through meaningful experiences, rather than following fleeting trends. That's why they choose to wear something that speaks to their soul rather than to their ego. Their comfort, confidence, and resilience shine brighter than any designer label ever could. We often mistake personal style as superficial, but there's a silent strength in wearing what feels right. People who choose to keep wearing older clothes are often some of the most principled and self-assured among us. They aren't swayed by the ever-changing tides of public opinion, and their sense of worth doesn't rely on what's currently in style. They've learned that true elegance comes from within. As the author Chile once wrote in The Blue Stream, there's a word that captures each phase of life. One of my favorites is comfortable, because it doesn't just describe our appearance, but how we feel about ourselves. For those who cherish nostalgia, the clothes they wear are more than just garments. They are repositories of the past. Every faded patch or worn-out color holds memories of love, hardship, or triumph. Whether it's a veteran's uniform or a wedding dress worn on a special day, these clothes are imprinted with the sacred moments of a well-lived life. To those who value nostalgia, it's not about looking back with regret. It's about appreciating the richness of what has already been. Every thread, every crease tells a story of cherished times and enduring love. These clothes are a source of comfort, a grounding force that brings warmth no matter how much time has passed. They serve as anchors, steadying them in the present. For those who've lived many years, nostalgia doesn't hold them back. It empowers them to move forward confidently because they know where they've been. There's a quiet grace in balancing the past with the future. Embracing the familiar doesn't mean being stuck in the past. It's a way of appreciating the beauty of the journey, the lessons learned, and the wisdom gained over time. The clothes we wear, worn and weathered, are symbols of that journey. They carry the weight of our experiences, but instead of burdening us, they empower us to walk forward with pride. So, when you see someone driving the same car they've had for years, or wearing clothes they've cherished for decades, show them respect. These are people who have embraced life on their own terms. Their choices reflect not just practicality but a deep respect for the things that truly matter. When you're in their presence, you can sense the security and trustworthiness that only comes from someone who has lived fully and knows the value of what they hold dear. It's said that those who continue to wear the same style of clothing for decades are often from the 50s, 60s, or 70s. They lived through challenging times, understood scarcity, and came to appreciate what truly lasts. As they've grown older, they focus less on outward appearances and more on the richness of their inner lives. They've learned to treasure what they have, value quality over quantity, and see the beauty in simplicity. Every moment in life, every step, whether big or small, helps build our own story. The successes, failures, joys, and sorrows all contribute to who we are today. Never be ashamed of your past, for it has taught you invaluable lessons. Holding on to the past is not regression. It's a way of saying, I know where I've been, and I'm proud of what I've gone through. With each passing year, we not only grow older, but we also become more thoughtful and more aware of what really matters. Don't be afraid of change, but don't forget to cherish the memories and lessons from the past. They'll guide you forward, helping you find happiness and peace in the present. Wearing the same clothes for 10, 20, or even 30 years isn't just a choice. It's a philosophy. It's a testament to discipline, a love for life, and a deep understanding of the value of things that endure. The comfort of old clothes isn't just physical. It's the comfort of knowing that what you've chosen is enough. It's a reminder that as we grow older, we don't just collect things. We collect moments and carry them with us, woven into the fabric of our lives.